left, right, out. Some more interesting things happening with the Freedom Convoy, the truckers in Canada. Trudeau has come out and invoked the Emergency Powers Act, or whatever they call it up there. Pretty much he's wanting to go after their finances, which we've known that they've put pressure on GoFundMe, and they were going to just steal the money. Then Give, Send, Go was an alternative, and now they're embroiled with the Canadian government on how they are trying to stop them from dispersing funds. Plus they were hacked, and all sorts of weird stuff that is odd, very odd, and you wonder what kind of government collusion is behind a lot of this. Now Trudeau is really showing himself to be a quasi-dictator, and like father, like son. If you want to go to those conspiracies that there seems to be some legitimacy to him, that he is Fidel Castro's son, illegitimate child, with promiscuous mother. That's a funny conspiracy that could possibly be true. You look at some of the photos. But anyway, Trudeau is really, he's painted this picture of these people, alluding to them and saying outright that they have misogynistic tendencies, that they're racist. I mean, throwing whatever, liberal leftist propaganda, sink words that are supposed to elicit a response at them, and hopefully something will stick. Now they're going after him with terrorism. Now, if you believe these people are terrorists, you got another thing coming. And anything, these are the very protests that the founding fathers in our nation envision. We have to regress against, we have a discrepancy against the government to show peacefully our distaste for what they're doing. Now, granted, it's happening in Canada, I know, but they're showing a very American spirit, more so than what we've been doing, on a larger level anyway. They're embodying the American spirit, and the fact that the government's coming after them proves that point. If you have a protest that the government embraces, typically you need to look at it skeptically, like the BLM movement, all this other jazz that is causing social unrest. That is why you can't believe anything that the media says anyway. We know that. And apparently the Canadian media is even worse than ours. So just, the propaganda wheels are just turning to the nth degree on these guys. But if you actually go out there, if you've seen some live stream, these are normal people. These are the working class people of the world, of North America, truckers who are, it's funny, a lot of leftists and liberals that live in these cities are sitting on their high and mighty horses on this, with the very things, the very, caramel macchiatos that they go get, the very, organic fruits and vegetables that they go and grab at the market, or whatever box they have sent in. These are the guys that are taking it in. These are the guys that are moving it across the country. So it baffles me that they don't see this in the same light as they did these other protests. But anyway, the veil, these are how the new dictators come into power in the West, is through the veil of democracy, is what they call it. What they're going to be, they use those certain terms that are supposed to, calm us down and believe that this is the will of the people, when in fact they're insulated from that. They know exactly what they're doing, and through their propaganda mechanisms or whatnot, trying to give themselves a justification for taking these actions against the people. And then claiming it's democracy, claiming that they're standing up for the people. And it's, and it's pretty enlightening. And if we look at Canada, it's the same playbook that happens here in the States, that happens all over when it comes to Western countries running huge campaigns against their own people. Now, I was surprised Trudeau didn't get the military to to go after them, but I think they're afraid he's going to bring the law enforcement, afraid of an actual armed conflict, because these are the people that probably do carry a sidearm at the very least. But the Canadian military has acknowledged that they have run propaganda ops recently against their own people when it comes to COVID. So that is in the same light, because these guys are protesting the mandates, which don't make any sense anymore. Now we have more studies about the vaccine itself and the possible ramifications of that, but I don't want to get into that. Anyway, Trudeau is he's unveiling himself as the Castro of the North, and I don't know. Hopefully these people win. If it was me, the truckers, if they come after you, because he's going to come after you with this Mercy Power Act, he's going to try to get your bank accounts. So then that goes into crypto, which I see crypto as a way to move purchasing power across borders now that there's a lot of restrictions on that. But crypto has its own flaws, and we can talk about this some other time. But in this case, this might be the only mechanism that they have if the banks, because they'll work in lieu of the government and they'll close these guys down. Not to mention anybody that's, you wonder what the Canadians are going to do, anybody that's actually funding these guys, if they can go after them. This could be a giant witch hunt eventually. Almost like the Jan 6 thing here. But, so look at that. Keep an eye on that. These are fellow North Americans or whatever, or freedom lovers that are trying to do something about it. Now we look at the Ukrainian thing again. It's funny. I read this article about Putin. He was talking about the war that Kiev slept through. Because he recognizes that this is all a big propaganda campaign. I don't know why. I guess it's to get Biden a win or something. And at this point, if I was Putin, I might just walk, or what I would actually do is I'd solidify my presence in these other provinces of Ukraine. Because, we're talking about these, I would call them first world countries. Sorry, there's a lot of wind. Ukraine, I've been there. It's a really lovely country. It's nice. It's homogenous in a sense. I don't see, just like they did with the other province, you need to create instability in the country first before you go in there. I think that's the modern way of invading westernized nations. So this whole thing's been kind of a farce to me. But now, it seems like behind the scenes to me that Biden is kind of like saying, do it. Just do it so I have something to win on, or say that I'm strong on. Because everything else is just falling apart for this guy. I've never seen it like this in this country, and I can go on to a lot of things, whether it just be a normal person, like, from the ground floor to the up. Nobody has any confidence in the institutions of this government anymore. Where the FBI is corrupt, we've known the CIA's been corrupt forever, but now average people are actually coming to terms with that. CIA, here's another thing. Just the CIA was coming after Zero Hedge. They're saying that they were provoking whatever. Zero Hedge is an interesting news outlet, and they've been ahead of the curve on a lot of things. You ought to go look at that. That's what I'm talking about. They are slowly transforming into a sort of Gestapo, Stasi, brown shirt type entities. So we have really got to watch out for this stuff. Anyway, I'm going to end it there. I'll probably throw another video up because I want to delve into the markets a little bit on this, because we got FOMC minutes. Anyway, peace.